The PlayStation Portal is quite possibly my favourite gadget I bought last year. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to get the most out of it, show you all the top tips I've learned while using it. Some are going to be really obvious, but I guarantee one or two you will not know, and one is an absolute game changer and makes or breaks how well this system works. Right, so first up, and possibly the most obvious one, but if you can, connect your PS5 to the internet via a Ethernet cable. This gives the strongest, most reliable connection, and even though some people have said a decent Wi-Fi is just as good, for most people it's still better with Ethernet, so go that way if you can. Next up, and this one's quite a big one, a lot of games such as Gran Turismo 7 for example use HDR, and you may have this setting turned on your PlayStation, but the thing is the Portal doesn't support HDR, it's just 1080p SDR. So if you leave HDR on your PlayStation 5, games can look just washed out or just plain wrong on the Portal. So what you want to do is, before you play your Portal, on your PS5, go to settings, screen and video output, HDR, and turn that off. Otherwise games can look just plain wrong on the Portal. And then once you finish playing on the Portal, just go back to your PS5 and enable HDR again to enjoy that lovely HDR on your TV. So absolutely make sure you do that, because there's zero benefit to leaving HDR on the PlayStation when you're using the Portal, and it can actually hurt the image quality on the Portal, so absolutely turn that off. Improve your battery life massively. Now I've read that a lot of people only get 5 to 6 hours out of their Portal from a full charge, and you can increase it dramatically. I mean, if you're playing outside, you want the brightness on high to combat obviously the bright sun. That's obvious, you may have to do that. But if you're playing inside, just press the PlayStation button there and scroll down to the brightness bar there, and you can reduce the brightness bar and bring it all the way down to just below half. And then when you're playing indoors, the difference is negligible, but you save an absolute ton of battery life, and I've extended battery life by like several hours just for that alone. And want to squeeze even more battery life out of this thing, then scroll down to settings, press that, go down to controllers, and you can change the intensity of the triggers or turn off that vibration and haptics completely, thus saving even more battery life. It's things like that which really munch away at the battery. So by turning down the brightness, turning off or turning down the vibration intensity of the Portal, you can really extend the battery life. And you can even take it one stage further for extreme levels of battery saving. If you move across to this section here, you can actually turn down the intensity of the light bars, and even the mute buttons, just squeeze out as much extra battery life as you can. And the last battery saving tip is, if you're not going to use the Portal for a few days, don't turn it off just by the button there. I mean, it is convenient when you turn it on again because it's very quick to reconnect, but if you're not going to use it for a few days, turn it off completely. Hold down the power button and turn it off, like on the button there, just turn it off completely. This is going to save even more battery, because the battery drain is small in standby, but it's still more than if it was turned off. So when you turn this on again, you'll have more battery than if you just left it in standby. Right, really quick and easy one this. To see the time of day at any point, just press the PlayStation button and the time of day appears in the top right hand corner. Everyone probably knew that, but I thought I'd chuck it in anyway. Right, this next one does largely depend upon how good your eyesight is and what games you play, but the PS Portal is 1080p native resolution, and the chances are your PS5 is set to 4K. So if you leave it at that, what happens is, when you stream to the Portal, your PS5 downscales the image first to 1080p. It's only a small extra bit of lag, but it can be there, and also the image is improved on the PS Portal as well because it's receiving its native resolution. For games that have got like small amounts of text and things like that, it's very noticeable to some people, but on other games where there's not so much small text and details like that, you may not notice it so much. But it's there, so if you want the best image quality on your Portal, change your PS5 to 1080p. Disable background downloads on the PlayStation 5. Pause those game downloads, pause those system updates. This steals bandwidth, making for a lesser experience on the PlayStation Portal. Just put those settings back to normal once you're done playing the Portal. Always select performance mode in games that give you the option. Prioritise frame rate over graphics when you can. This gives a lower input delay on the PS Portal for a just all-round better experience. And if you have any connection issues, I haven't so far, but if you do, restart the PlayStation Portal, and if that fails, restart the PS5 too. And before we come to the big one, another obvious one. The PS Portal has a headphone socket, so for massively improved audio, just plug in a set of wired headphones and the difference is astonishing. Massive difference. Now this is pretty cool too. If you've got PlayStation Premium, you can even play games on this thing without a PS5, which is really cool. You can just do cloud streaming from the selected games which are available to play, and you can play them without even having a PS5. Really cool. Right, and now the absolute biggie, which can completely make or break your enjoyment of the PlayStation Portal. And I discovered this literally by accident. It turns out that to use the Portal, your PS5 must be able to see a HDMI signal and get a handshake from it. So if, for example, you're going to go on holiday and you've left your PS5 on different power point in rest mode, so you can turn it on by this and play it, do not turn off your TV at the switch, so it's off completely. It needs to be on in standby, because when you turn the PlayStation on, it needs to see a HDMI handshake with the TV. It doesn't have to actually have the TV on. You don't have to actually leave the TV on. It just needs to be in standby to actively see that HDMI handshake. And if you turn the TV off at the power point, it won't work. So really important. So make sure you don't do that. So there it is. There's my top tips to get the most out of your PlayStation Portal. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. Hype it, like it, all that malarkey, all helps the channel out. But thank you for watching, and bye for now.